I'm Dr. Neil Skolnick, professor of family and community medicine. Joining me today is Dr. Blake Cooper. Dr. Cooper is a vitreoretinal surgeon and a partner at Retinal Associates in Kansas City. Welcome, Dr. Cooper.
Thank you, Neil, for having me. Appreciate the time.
You co-authored the chapter titled Key Elements of a Diabetes-Related Eye Examination, published by the American Diabetes Association in the compendium, A Practical Guide to Diabetes-Related Eye Care. There's a lot of great information in there. What is the single most important thing that you wanted to convey to our colleagues?
Yeah, so I really think that the importance of an eye exam, even when someone's asymptomatic, and unfortunately, diabetes related eye disease can progress over time, and it can progress in a way that will actually be asymptomatic for many of our patients. And so, the importance of having routine annual exams will hopefully detect changes early that can oftentimes be halted and even regressed.
And those annual exams are critically important. Often for those of us in primary care and endocrinology, it's a black box. Can you tell us a little bit about what happens when our patients see you?
Sure. So I think the first and foremost is it's important for our patients to realize that we will be doing what we call a dilated eye exam. So it's no different than any usual eye exam that you have. It's just that it's more concentrated to evaluating structures in the posterior segment or the back of the eye. But essentially, when someone comes in for an eye exam, we'll check their vision. Usually, we like to do that one eye at a time and then together. We check the pupils and the motility and the position of the eyelids. And then we do what we call an slit lamp examination. We look at the anterior segment. Really, what we're looking for there is with diabetes, especially later in the stages of diabetes, we can have new blood vessels growing in the front of the eye, which can cause problems with the pressure. We check the pressure, and then we look at the lens status. It's not uncommon for patients who live with diabetes to develop cataracts earlier in life. And then, really, most of the exam is concentrated in the posterior segment in the retina. The retina is a sort of a vascular tissue that records light. And with diabetes, it's those vessels that start to break down, leading to areas of retinal ischemia or poor circulation and areas of retinal edema or swelling. And you oftentimes can evaluate that with just simple slit lamp biomicroscopy. But then we'll use retinal imaging studies. It could be a color image. It could be what we call a fluorescein angiogram, where we'll inject some dye through the veins and watch it circulate through the eye. And that really gives us an idea of the perfusion of the retina. And then oftentimes we'll do a cross-sectional image of the retina, what we call an optical coherence tomography or OCT image. At that point, then we sort of put everything together and sort of stage the levels of retinopathy and talk about treatment or observation.
And clearly, early detection is critical because there's things we can do, right?
There really is, and oftentimes it's as simple as continuing with, good glycemic control and stability, making sure that we're seeing primary care physicians, endocrinologists, that we're also maintaining good renal and health and controlling blood pressure. It's all related to the care of someone who lives with diabetes. But once they do develop significant levels of retinopathy with appropriate treatment and management, we're able to actually oftentimes halt and reverse those stages and even lead to some visual improvement.
Pretty amazing. Critically important information. Dr. Blake Cooper, thank you so much for joining us.
Neil, thank you again for having me.
This video is part of a project on diabetes-related eye care, and it's supported by an unrestricted educational grant to the American Diabetes Association from VSP Vision Care and Regeneron. For more detailed information, feel free to download our associated compendium, A Practical Guide to Diabetes-Related Eye Care, that is available at diabetesjournals.org/compendia. For the American Diabetes Association, I'm Dr. Neil Skolnick.